Alright, so it's been a good while since I've actually worked on any decks. This is a current project that I'm working on. I actually got the inspiration to work on this deck after watching my good friend at TK Central, Jeffrey Torres, actually lose to this deck. My interest was slightly piqued. So I got the original deck list from the creator at that time. I don't remember your name, unfortunately. I wish I could credit you with it. But it was from DN. And then at No Limits tournament, we actually had another guy played a little bit more of an outdated version with the extra deck, Photon Bopple Operative, and things like that were in his extra deck. And it was really disappointing because if he had these two cards in his extra deck, he could have beat Burning Abyss with the way that he opened up. So I've been testing a little bit. I'm 1-1 against Teller Knights right now. I've only played the deck 4 times. This is a rough draft. And I wanted to share it with you guys and kind of working on this deck. This is a project I'm working on, like I said, along with Toonstun. Both decks have my interest right now in the game. This deck in particular, the Possessed, actually Eerie is my favorite card in the game. I love just the whole awesomeness behind her blue hair. Call it a fetish if you want. But I really love Eerie as a card. And not that the card does anything, but a deck that has the potential to be incredibly good that uses Eerie was something that I really wanted to look into. So if you guys don't know the basis behind the deck, it's basically a spellcaster anti-meta deck. Your key cards, obviously Secret Village. You can go 2 or 3 on this if you really want to. For the current point in time, I found that 2 would save me some money when building this in real life. I'm indifferent on the card. The card is good, but you need to open up some playable means to establish it on the board. And that comes into duality. It's one of those things, you want to play 2 or 3 duality. Now, I'm not a really big fan of the card in this deck. I mean, you sure as hell need the card. The card absolutely will win you games. But we'll go through, let me do the quick deck profile, read off the card names here, and then we'll kind of get into some explanations here. So, 1 Azusa, Dahark, 2 Iria, 2 Hita, and 1 Win. Pretty much are Possessed. One build I saw played 7, another played 8. Still kind of testing that too. For an initial rough draft, 7 seemed better than 8. I mean, they're just giant beat sticks. 1850 is a pretty sustainable number. And then, of course, 2 Inari Fire. If you control a spellcaster type monster, you can push summon it. It's kind of like Kage Tokage. And then, if it's destroyed by an opponent's card effect, since the graveyard, you can special summon during your next damage phase. So it's a floater. And then Yugioh, he's water, of course. When he's destroyed by battle or a card effect, you can special summon 1 1500 attack and 200 defense monster from your deck. Inari Fire. Plus, you can special summon it, so it gets you into those XYZ plays. 1 Nefarious, which will trigger Unpossessed, which we'll get to. 1 Book of Moon, 2 MST, 2 Duality, 1 Regeki, 2 Secret Village, very heavy chop board. 1 Bottomless, 1 Compulse, triple Fiendish Chain, 2 Mind Crush, 2 Force, triple Mistake, Ring, Warning, Torrential, triple Unpossessed, and Emptiness. My extra deck, I'm still kind of testing as well, but we'll get to that here. Dweller, Gorgon, Castel, Emerald, Diamond Dyer, Exciton, good old Cowboy, King of the Feral Imps, 101, Ragna, Giant Hand, Diamond Crab King, Rhapsody, and then Diamond and Ptolemaeus. Alright, so Unpossessed is going to be your key card in this deck. So, chartered monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. Irrelevant. If a familiar possessed monster you control attacks an opponent's monster, gains 800 attack during damage calculation only. And if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon 1 spellcaster type monster with 1500 defense from your deck whose attribute is different than at least one of those destroyed original attributes on the field in attack position or face down defense mode. And you can only use this effect of Unpossessed once per turn. So, you can play Injection Fairy Lily. I'll go ahead and put that in the side. It's just something to consider. I'm not an overly big fan of Lily, considering her life point abuse, but I mean, you can establish her on the board by all means. So, like I said, we have 7 targets here for Unpossessed. Basically, everything you'll have will float on the board, kind of creating an infinite span of monsters to abuse Secret Village, which is pretty self-explanatory. Also, you can create soft locks with Gigabyte and Inari for the quick XYZ plays, and it punishes your opponent for trying to have an answer to Inari Fire. Also, Nefarious here. If you guys don't know what he does, controls a custom monster, you can summon from your hand. During your opponent's end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one face of monster you control, destroy it, and if you do, special summon it. So, pop one of these, and then trigger Unpossessed. It'll float out another monster. Like I said, the whole premises of this deck is to act like a stun deck. And constant, beat sticks, 2650 is a really, really, really big number. And a lot of decks don't have the ability to answer it. And also, like I said, you have an XYZ luck. Most of your extra deck stuff should be there. I mean, Diamond's your Burning Abyss out. Crab is your Towers out. Dolls will be rough, I'm not going to lie. And King of the Feral Imps is your recruiting engine. Ford, of course, Gigabyte, because he is a reptile. Beast, Pyro, can't search for them, unfortunately. So, your key setup, ideally, I mean, Secret Village is not going to be good every game. Typically, if you don't open this card, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Kind of makes me want to play Triple Duality, like I said earlier in this. The trap board is up to your interpretation. I feel like 3 Mistake is way too much in certain matchups, and it's really shameful to say that, because if I open this card, I do really good. I did, however, find that I did have some issues with Mistake. Mistake can't let me duality, which should never be relevant, but it actually is when you need to go fishing for resources on a top decking game. This deck can extremely hold its own if you're playing the beat stick game, as long as you have floodgates on the board. I know people hate degenerate floodgates, but you do have a strong trap board that you can get access to. And I mean, it's just an interesting overall stun deck. So, I don't know. The downside to the deck is if you don't open up Unpossessed, you flop. But the deck does have rank 4 toolbox aspects, which are very important. Plus, you can play Secret Village, which really can put a lot of people on tilt. And I think a lot of people really discount this card for being good right now. So, I'm going to continue to test this. I wanted to show the first rough draft of this deck to you guys. I wanted your guys' opinion outside of the typical, oh, this deck is shit, why are you playing this, Robbie? Definitely happy to have something that's got my interest back in the game. And like I said, Tunes are another project. Me and Joe Shoemaker have been showing each other rough drafts, kind of coming up with things. I don't understand how Tunes can't be a really good stun deck right now, aside from, just needing slight adjustments and things like that. I'm still indifferent about maining this, though. So far in testing, there wasn't any real point to where I wanted it. To be honest with you, these 6 targets were enough for special summoning, so I don't know if I'd expand that. The only other thing I would consider is maybe playing an 8th Possessed. I don't know who I would add for the 8th. Maybe a win. Just play 2-2-1-1. It's definitely up to the creator of the deck, how they want to go about things. Also, third duality is something I'm questioning as too. So probably going to test that. The only thing I'd consider taking out would be taking Mistake down to 2. Give me 1 card slot to play with. So yeah, I hope this was a decent explanation about this deck. Leave your comments down below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this deck. It's very, very, very fun, and it's got my interest in the game. Alright guys, I'm out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up this video to show your support, and please check out Vanguard 40 for Cardfight Vanguard, MKohl Games for miscellaneous trading card games, and No Limit Gaming for a brand new series of Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks for watching.